Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. One thing that we've been hearing a lot of recently is that Tesla is on the way down. Tesla's demand is going down, Tesla's sales is going down, but one thing that certainly isn't is Tesla's share price, which has jumped to the highest level since February. We've seen 3 weeks of gains right now, and if you have a look at the data that we're seeing with Tesla, really it's becoming quite impressive. Now we're seeing the shares rise higher on Friday, the highest levels that we've seen since February, as the EV maker has seen 3 weeks of straight gains. Now, the general sentiment on trade was actually driven, or a driving factor, of last Friday's gains, with President Trump floating a cut to US tariffs on Chinese imports ahead of this weekend's negotiations. The upbeat news on the China trade policy comes after the White House struck a trade deal with the UK. Seemingly, it looks like Tesla shares were up from the news, with the shares closing up around 4.7% and a 4% gain for the week. It's up nearly 15% over the past 3 weeks, which absolutely is a noteworthy rise. This really is quite good stuff. The question is, what is going on with Tesla at the minute? Now, we're seeing some really interesting stuff going on with the brand. So Tesla has abandoned 2 promised Cybertruck features, but it does try to win back owners with a year of free FSD, which we're going to look into in a second. So, would people be satisfied with the Cybertruck, and is it going to be enough with what Tesla's doing? Now, Tesla has cancelled the Cybertruck's planned range extender after marketing the 16,000 accessory as a solution to the model's lower than expected range. Elon Musk had previously claimed that a Cybertruck would offer around 500 miles between charges, but actually it offers more like 320, and the all-wheel drive variant could go 325, and the long-wheel drive, or the long-range version I should say, can do 350. Obviously much lower than the 500, but the question is, does it matter? They're also ditching the plans to release auto steer as a standard Cybertruck feature. It's going to be bundled into Autopilot. Instead, the automaker is offering a Foundation Series Cybertruck. Owners, excluding those who have already bought the full self-driving, have 1 year of full self-driving. So, is it going to be enough? This includes auto steer and all of the other Teslas actually contain this as standard. Is it going to be enough to change the tide for Tesla? And what is the reason for this? Well, obviously, the addition of the range extender would have been very expensive. It would have increased the range to about 445 miles, but the question is, will it have been worth the cost? And of course, some people would be willing to pay it. And as for what Tesla's told its qualifying customers, your Cybertruck VIN, vehicle identification number, is eligible for free. And that could be a 1 year full self-driving, supervised trial as we improve our autopilot technology. Our feature will set to change accordingly, however auto steer will not be available for the Cybertruck outside of the full self-driving supervised. So yeah, to qualify for the trial, eligible Cybertruck owners must subscribe to the full self-driving by June 6th, with customers able to use the rest of the 1 year trial if they choose to cancel. However, Cybertruck's lack of several standard autopilot features, not just auto steer. And the question is this really good enough for a vehicle of this price range, and for a vehicle that's already not selling well? Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing, it's not necessarily the worst news for Tesla. However, is it going to be enough to actually win customers round to buying the Cybertruck? Now, do bear in mind, in early April, we have seen Tesla quietly remove the range extender from the Cybertruck's online configurator. We now have news that the Cybertruck's peak range won't come close to what Tesla initially promised, whilst Tesla will likely develop a Cybertruck with more range if it decides to release those in future versions. Elon Musk has a list of unfulfilled Tesla promises, and it's growing even longer. Auto steer's disappointment is a salt in the wound. Even with a full self-driving trial offer, it sounds dramatic. Remember that the rear-wheel drive Cybertruck, which loses tons of features, essentially is still really expensive. We're looking at a vehicle which costs around about $70,000, and the dual motor all-wheel drive is around $80,000. The Cyber Beast has a $99,000 price tag. This just goes to show the expense of these vehicles. And a lot of people may believe that lacking these features is just really quite preposterous at these price points. However, I'll let you guys make your minds up on what you think of that. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for your time. If you enjoyed, do give us a like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you again soon. Goodbye.